Good morning, St. Francis. It is Tuesday, April the 13th, 2021. It is Tuesday of the second week of Easter. It is the 10th day of Easter. Coming to you this morning, again from the berm against Leesville Road, in the great pine grove that is around one of the spots over there. Again, this is kind of where we began Lent, and so returning to it as it comes into bloom. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, I have to walk. Oh, it's hidden behind the trees. Anyway, this little path, again, this sort of abandoned path that would be wonderful for Stations of the Cross or something like that. Maybe the Knights and the Boy Scouts can probably do something about that. Give me a proposal. But for our first church right over there, conference rooms over here, and then there is a beautiful dogwood that is flowering behind the pine grove over here, and the statue of St. Ignatius right over there. This morning, a nice morning here in Carolina. It should be a little bit warm, but then it's going to get cooler after tomorrow. So enjoy the weather. Again, your weather report for this morning. We continue learning about the early church through the Acts of the Apostles, the great passage where Luke, who is the recorder for the Acts of the Apostles, writes about the community of first Christians sharing everything they had, so no one was in want, and so no one was in need. Again, a great ideal of what all of us who believe should be about in our lives, making sure there is no one wanting, no one needy, no one in distress, but to reach out as best we can in joy and in assistance, in help and love, for each other. Again, one of the marks of what the resurrection propels us to do. There is no more fear of death. There is no more fear of the bondage of sin. There is no more fear of anything. And so it is time for us to move out into this world and embrace it with all that we are. A brand new day that dawns upon us because of resurrection. With that, we continue Jesus' nighttime meeting with Nicodemus, picking up where we left off yesterday. And again, Nicodemus just finding it very difficult to believe any of this. And Jesus basically chiding Nicodemus. You believe things of earth so well. Why is it so difficult to believe of things of heaven? That is important, I think, even for us today. Because, again, sometimes we use that great word, it's just a mystery, to be able to help us, kind of deal with heaven and not have to answer any kind of difficult questions that sometimes heaven offers to us, of why some things can be so tragic and why some things can be so beautiful at the same time. But it's also trying to understand, what is God's purpose? What is God's role in the midst of all of this? And why does God allow and permit such things? For centuries, again, that was called an audacious question, something you would never, ever dare ask. God knows what God is doing and so just deal with it. But no. Again, if the quality that, again, we experience in this mission that God gives to all of us through Christ is meant to be lived, meant to be embraced, then basically answers for why God does what God does is something that we should seek, and something that we should seek with confidence. Again, Jesus speaks about being lifted up, once again, and drawing all people to himself. Again, that lifting up is not necessarily just on the cross, but it's a lifting up of our own lives, so they may have the fullness that they deserve. The fullness that we, because of our focus upon sin and our brokenness and all of our mistakes, clouds us from seeing, obscures us from seeing. Resurrection removes the clouds, removes the obscurity, and allows us to see us truly as the wondrous creations of God that we are. To live with that is not something that becomes arrogance or pride, but becomes awe and wonder. That great gift of the Holy Spirit that Jesus is breathing his last on the cross gives to the entire world. To breathe in that awe and wonder allows us to achieve a life and live a life that is in its fullness, the life that we are meant to live and embrace as human beings on this earth. Even through the darkness and the pains and the sufferings that we experience, there is life to be lived, and life to be lived with one another. And so to take that life preciously, to take that life reverently, to take that life as a source of holiness and good in our lives. The blessed Easter, St. Francis. May the Lord give you peace.